Hey everybody, Renee here from O'Reilly Auto Parts to show you how to change the alternator in a 2014 Nissan Altima. Procedures will be similar for most Altima models from 2013 to 2018, but be sure you know the specifics for your vehicle before getting started. Keep in mind, if you're not sure if your alternator needs to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can test your alternator on or off your vehicle. Once you've got your supplies together, here's what you'll do. Park on a level surface and open the hood. Use your ratchet and a 10mm socket to loosen and detach the negative battery cable. Use a 5mm hex bit socket and possibly an extension to remove the 3 bolts securing the engine cover. Grip the cover by its outside edges closest to the windshield and pull straight up on it to disengage the tab at the top, and then remove the cover. Locate your alternator, which is toward the front of the engine bay on the passenger side, and move aside the boot covering the positive cable mounting nut. Use your ratchet and 12mm socket with extension to remove the nut. Now remove the wheel cover from the front passenger side wheel by pulling directly out on it. Use a breaker bar and 21mm socket to loosen the lug nuts on that wheel. Chock the rear wheels. Then lift and support the front passenger side of the car. Remove the front passenger side wheel from the vehicle. In the wheel well, you'll see a panel that's held in place by plastic push clips. Use a trim tool or flathead screwdriver to pop out the center of each clip to disengage and remove them. Once the clips are removed, you can also remove the panel and set it aside. With the panel removed, you'll have a view of the Serpentine belt and tensioner. Use a ratchet and 17mm socket to rotate the tensioner clockwise and slip the belt off the nearest pulley. Back in the engine bay, slip the belt off the alternator pulley and remove it. Use your ratchet and 13mm socket to loosen the 2 alternator mounting bolts at the top and bottom. Once they're loose, remove them the rest of the way by hand. You can now carefully lift the old alternator up and out of the engine bay. Visually inspect the 2 mounting bolts and the ring at the end of the cable you detached earlier. Use fine grit sandpaper to remove any corrosion if needed. Lower your new alternator into position and thread the top mounting bolt by hand. Thread the bottom bolt by hand, then tighten them both with your ratchet and 13mm socket. Once they're snug, use a torque wrench to tighten the bolts to 18 foot-pounds. Reconnect the wiring harness, pressing it until you hear its locking tab snap into place. Reinstall the top cable, making sure the ring is flush, and thread the nut by hand until it's snug. Use your socket to tighten the nut and secure the cable, being careful not to over-tighten it. Move the boot back into place over the nut. Before rerouting your belt, quickly inspect it to make sure there aren't any signs of damage. Start in the engine bay and route your belt around the pulleys as best you can from the top, leaving the AC compressor pulley toward the front of the engine bay at the bottom for last. Back in the wheel well, route the belt around the tensioner and crankshaft pulleys. Use your 17mm socket to rotate the tensioner clockwise and slip the belt onto the AC pulley. Before releasing the tensioner, make sure the belt is routed properly around the pulleys you can see. Slowly release the tensioner. Then double-check the belt all the way around to make sure it's properly seated on all pulleys. Reinstall the panel on the wheel well with the push clips you removed, pushing in their outer edges first, then pushing in the middle pin to secure them. Put your wheel back in place. Then install and tighten the nuts until the wheel is flush against the hub. Lower your front end and remove the wheel chocks. Use your torque wrench to tighten the lug nuts in a star pattern to 83 foot-pounds. Snap your wheel cover back into place, making sure the space for the valve stem is lined up, and test it to make sure it's secure. Back in the engine bay, align the grommet on the bottom of your engine cover with the protruding tab near the valve cover. Once the engine cover is in place, align the mounting bolt holes and begin to thread those bolts by hand. Use your ratchet and 5mm hex bit socket to secure the bolts. Reconnect your negative battery cable and use a 10mm socket and ratchet to tighten it. Start up the car and let it run for 5 to 10 seconds, then turn it back off. Double-check the belt to make sure it's still seated properly on all pulleys. If everything looks good, close the hood. And that's it. You'll find everything you need for this and other jobs at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com. If you're not completely comfortable doing this yourself, we'd be happy to recommend a professional technician in your area. And be sure to subscribe so you'll see all our new video content. We'll see you again soon.